So I'm getting geared up to take our Can We Survive trip here. Guns will be down in about 2 weeks or so. So there's a few little odds and ends that I needed to dial in or get finished up here on the Jeep. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stuff that I do. There's, things like this are always a work in progress, but you have to take multiple trips before you can kind of evaluate what you need, what you don't need, what you might want to add, what you don't like that you did add. What I just went and got was a little bracket that mounts back to the spare tire carrier, and it's for the CB antenna, because I've got my CB mounted. And I was thinking, looking around, I looked at some YouTube videos, seeing how to install. I didn't know anything about CBs really, because I never really used CBs ever. We use car-to-car communication, which is different when we're racing. It's a little bit different. And then we use like Motorola radios and stuff like that over time. But the CB, you got to tune it. Anyway, long story short, I got a Fire Stick. Well, I don't have it yet, but it's called a Fire Stick. That's the brand. Antenna coming in, and supposedly it's supposed to be pretty easy to tune it at the tip. Got this mount. The only problem I can already foresee, which it's good that I think ahead, is because a lot of times you'll do something and then you'll be out in the middle of nowhere and you'll go, oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm saying is the antenna is going to stick up above, a little bit above the roof of the Jeep, because I got a short one. But that awning that I have, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. I already thought of it. Now, I only use the awning when I go out. I'm only going to use the awning when I go out, like on trips like this. When I go out just regular off-road, and I probably won't have it, because it's really designed for kind of in the afternoons when you're winding down. You can whip it out real quick if you want some shade, but the idea is that it's when you're going camping. If I'm just going off-road, I'm not going to have it. But I need that antenna, so I looked at some quick disconnect options, but they said, a lot of people were saying that the quick disconnects, the one that was the most recommended also was the one that everyone was saying it broke. Once you got it on, you couldn't get it off. I had to break it to get it off. It's like, okay, all those words are the opposite of quick disconnect, you know what I mean? So I went with a spring, a heavy duty spring that maybe all I need to do is bend it a little bit. I'm gonna try it out. I'll figure it out, see what happens. So I'm really excited. I'm excited more for this one, because when Guns and I go on these types of trips, when it's been a long time since we did the last trip, it's definitely not just about, hey, we're going on a Can We Survive trip, we're gonna make some fun videos. It's also about Guns and I, two friends, going on like a vacation and relaxing, getting away from the computers and the internet for just a couple of days. It hits that reset button in your head. It hits that reset button to where when you come back, you had a blast out there, you come back all refreshed. Everybody needs that, everyone needs to hit that reset button now and again. I know this because I worked so much, so hard for so long that it was unhealthy. I worked to the point where it was unhealthy. And this is why, I think I may have said this before, but I worked so much. I was so focused on getting money, making money, saving money, buying my first house, buying this. Not about like trying to be, buying all these fancy things. I'm talking about trying to get to where I did better than how I grew up. I wanted to own my own home. I wanted to own my own vehicle. I wanted to be able to go riding in the desert on something that wasn't going to kill me, which is what I always had when I was growing up, if I had anything. So I would work straight through, and at the end of the year, I would have, 2-3 weeks of vacation time and 5 sick days that I didn't use, and I would cash them out. What that means is, for some of you guys that don't know, is instead of taking the time, I would take the money and continue to work. So it was basically almost like a bonus when because you're still working through that time. So you get that money in addition to your regular time. But I did that for 10 years straight. The problem with that is I never hit that reset button. Remember? I was just talking about the reset button for your head. And I just was head down and working and working and working. Man, I started to burn myself out and go crazy. And these are things that I learned through my life that I like to try and pass on to you guys. And that is, no amount of money, this is important, no amount of money can buy you peace of mind or can buy you time back. Okay? I was that guy that wanted to show the world that I wasn't going to be poor all my life, that I was going to kick some butt and take some names and, do well for myself. And I did, but at the sacrifice of peace of mind and time. I lost a good solid 10 years of my life of being able to adventure and do all the things that I love because I was too busy trying to make the almighty dollar. So the last 5 years, I've been taking every possible day that it's owed to me. Vacation, all of that stuff, sick days. I take it all. I almost felt guilty before, like I should be working. I was an owner's dream because I just wanted to work. I wanted to continue to work. I wanted to do that. But now it's like I'm in a different mode. I need to capitalize and enjoy life. I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Yes, I sacrifice. Some people ask me, how do you get to a certain point? There has to be some sort of sacrifice. You can't just, like in the mode that I'm in now, you can't be in that all your life. You're going to have to take a chunk of years, call it 5-6 years, and sacrifice time and spending habits and all this stuff. Maybe if you want to go after your first house, you have to sacrifice something to get that. And if you're a person who just expects that you can be on vacation all the time and people owe you stuff and things are just going to come to you, it's never going to work out for you. All right, so I'm outside back with my little bracket I was talking about. This is hey, it's a helicopter. This is the bracket right here. You see it's just a little tiny bracket, and where that goes is right down in here on it's gonna sit bolted to this plate. It's hard to see in there because I got this giant tire, but there's 2 bolts that I've already taken out, like these 2 right here on that corner, and it's going to sit in there. So I'll put it on there and you guys will be able to see. It's a nice just a little tiny bracket, but it's strong. You mount your CB antenna to that and it should be good to go. So you always got to have the right tool for the job, like this little fella. Look at this little guy. I don't know if you can tell how small it is, but here's my hand. It's a little tiny ratcheting snap-on wrench, 13 millimeter. Pretty handy for tight places. So get the top one started here. He said this is going to give me some good options. I do have some tabs on the roof rack, but if you go really high on your vehicle and then add 4-foot antenna to the top of that, you're going to be hitting everything. This here is pretty good. I don't think it's going to stick up much more. It shouldn't stick up too much more than the top of the vehicle. A little bit, but at least I won't be hitting too many things. Thing about these snap-on tools and some of the nicer Craftsman and stuff like that, the new stuff these days, they figured out that they have to make the ratcheting tighter. Like if you listen to this is an older Craftsman. Listen. You hear how big those are versus this? Yeah. Okay, so the difference is that when you click this once, you see all this play in here? Can you see? That's all play. Click, play, click, play. What that does is, when you're inside an area like this, you're going to be moving a lot more without actually driving your bolt in. These smaller ones, you can move in smaller increments, and it's actually driving the bolt in on every little movement. Sounds weird, but it's something that if you work on things, especially in tight places, spend a little bit of extra money and get the tighter ratcheting ones. Work pretty good. Get it in all the way with this small one, and then you can do the tightening up with the bigger one. That's nice. That's nice. Worked out really good. So there, you can see the bracket now. Here's the bracket right here. So I have a hole that I can mount it closer or more centered in this area here, and then there's a grommet that I'll come out with the actual cable. So thought I would show you guys just how easy some of these things are to actually put on this thing. Anyway, we can close out this video, but a lot of people, there was a fair amount of people that asked if I had someplace they could send me stuff. You know, sometimes it was just like a letter, sometimes, you know, a buddy sent me a nice actual battle uniform with the Meat Wagon name on it and Meathead and stuff. If you guys watched the live stream, you probably saw that. Sent me a nice letter and a picture of him and a couple of his buddies there in the Army. So I did get a P.O. box in case there's something you guys want to send me. I'm not asking for anything. I definitely think it feels kind of weird having it, but you know, a fair amount of people asked that they might want to send something. So I'll put the P.O. box address down in the description, and if you guys have this urge to send me something, I really did appreciate the letter. It was nice because it was actually, you know, had some really deep meaning in it to me about some topics that we had discussed. So that was really cool. It was really neat. So anyway, and just by off chance, Jessica said she wanted to send me a shirt. Just so you guys know, if you're gonna send me a shirt, I'm a big guy. I'm a really big guy. My t-shirts are double extra large, okay? They're double extra large. So I'm just saying, you don't need to send me anything, but if you do and you want me to wear it, it's gotta be like double extra large. I'm a big boy. All right, guys, thanks for watching.